In this lesson, we'll learn how to create quick gestural sketches to explore a concept. Okay, so in a previous lesson, if you remember, I mentioned when we were talking about gesture that it was really great for capturing energy, tension, weight, and things of that nature in really an organic character. So we looked at these sketches and we also looked at these sketches. Now, the thing about gesture sketching is that nobody does it quite the same. There's all kinds of different approaches to it. So let me just jump over here to the Lesson 5 Begin file. And again, we'll just sketch right on top of layer 1. And I'm going to come in here, hit B on my keyboard and right click. I'm going to set my brush to that same brush we used in the previous lesson at about 3 pixels. Now, rather than try and complicate things by telling you we're going to sketch this character, I'm just going to give you a couple of stipulations. Let's draw gesture sketches of a female with a sword. So maybe we could do something very action-oriented or very dynamic in nature. So let's come in here and we'll just zoom in on our canvas. And I'm going to start up here with the head and kind of hit a little bit of that S-curve in there. Now this one, for this particular one, I want her legs to be kind of split, like she's really got a nice firm stance on the ground. So come over here and do something like that. See that a lot of times I'm sketching so quickly when I'm doing gesture type sketches that often run out of room on my canvas. So let me just hold control and I'll reposition that momentarily. There we go. So again, what's important with a gesture sketch is that it's not so much the fact that you get exactly the proportions right, you get exactly the anatomical things correct, but it's more so that you're working fast and you're capturing the energy. So with this one, I kind of want her arm to be kind of cocked back, sort of like that. So maybe we bring that shoulder in a bit more and bring that forearm under. We give her a hand right here. Maybe she's got one sword kind of held hilt up, sort of like so. Sort of like that. And I'm going to come up here and raise her head up a little bit so we can get a little bit of that neck in there. And maybe she's got another sword at that angle right there. Now obviously there's things that are wrong with this sketch. It is not perfect by any means, but I think what's going right with it is the fact that we've got some nice energy starting to flow throughout kind of the character that we're working on here, or the pose rather. Now the rest is just kind of the nuts and bolts of it, of hammering out basically refining it and repositioning things, pulling out things, figuring out what isn't really quite anatomically correct and what is anatomically correct. So you can see here, but essentially the energy's there, the pose is there. You can tell that there's a lot of weight, a lot of tension right down at this area here and down over here at this area. So we've done one gestural type sketch. Let's go ahead and do another quick one here. So again, this is something that takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of getting used to. One thing that can help you to be successful when sketching like this is to really just set a timer for yourself. Limit the amount of time you spend on a gesture sketch. So we'll come up here and maybe pull another head shape out here. And for this one, let's do something where she's maybe got her hips cocked to one side, sort of like that. And maybe we can bring the other hip down sort of like that. Maybe she's got one arm out outstretched here to her left, our right, and maybe we could do something up here. Kind of have her her other arm layered back behind. So maybe sort of something like that. And come in here. Starting to run out of room on my canvas again. We'll just kind of shift that up a bit. Again, we're using just simple poses here to kind of capture the energy in this character. Now, obviously, you can use this technique for really any type of an organic character or creature. We're just so happen to be using this on a female with a sword, but this works pretty well on, I've found, on anything organic. So maybe your hands kind of outstretched, sort of like that. All right, great. So I'm not going to spend a whole much more time on this particular image, but you can see exactly kind of the core of gesture drawing is, again, there's a common theme here. It's working fast. It's getting an idea down on paper and moving on to the next idea. Are these two sketches perfect sketches? Absolutely not. You have to be able to distance yourself from the quality of the sketch and evaluate it for the reason you drew it. So if we were evaluating these two sketches based on, well, we need a very dynamic pose. Which one's more dynamic? Which one feels to be more energetic? Well, obviously this one on the left feels quite a bit more dynamic to me. So, and again, you know, we drew these two sketches in probably about 5 minutes time. So gesture drawing, again, it's something that's a great way to draw these type of characters or poses. It's also a really great way to warm up your drawing hand. If you're about to do a lot of sketching or a lot of drawing, gesture drawing is something that I love doing just as a warm-up as well. So spend some time in between lessons creating your own gesture drawings. Maybe draw a few different poses for this woman with a sword. When you come back in the next lesson, I want to show you another technique for getting started with some concept sketches for maybe a more hard surface type of a character, more of a mechanical character. We're going to learn about creating silhouettes in the next lesson.